I'm live. Hey guys, I've been doing a lot more of these lately, I think I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it takes a minute for people to join. But so I'll wait for a second. And how's everybody doing today? As I've been starting doing these lives, I've noticed it's kind of cool on Instagram. You can see how many people are actually on, like how many people are currently on Instagram. So I guess that's a good thing for knowing when to do it. I don't know if I'm picking the right times, but it's just the time I have to do it. So it's good. And I can see your comments. That's great. Hey guys. Hey Drew. What's up, man? See, I was wearing this shirt today, so I thought, what better day than to like officially announce this? Although it's already out there a bit, but I'm doing something that I'm so excited about. So I grew up like just obsessed with the Beatles. I mean, so many different groups. Queen is obviously a huge influence for me. Billy Joel was, one of the, in a way. I mean, I'll go into that later, but so many people that are like, many of them, most of them are inspired by the Beatles in some way. And I've never done something quite like this, so I'm really, really excited to do it. But I'm doing a two-part event in New York City that I'm calling Reeve, Carney Sings the Beatles at the Green Room 42 on Monday, May 13th. I put it on Monday because we're in New York. It's a theater town, obviously. And Mondays are the day that most people are able to go to shows that are in the theater. So I thought it'd be a cool thing for people that wouldn't otherwise be able to make it, might be able to make it that night. But I'm doing a 7 p.m. show and a 9:30 show, and I'm performing 30 Beatles songs over the course of the entire show. I'm really, really excited because, their music has influenced me so much, so it's just really, really cool for me. So I'm hoping that I'll see many of you guys there. And there are live stream tickets available for it, so if you don't live in New York, you can go, you can virtually go, attend both of the shows, either or both. But yeah, they'll both be completely different shows, totally different sets. I'll be doing about 15 songs each set, each show. Which is possible with the Beatles music because a lot of it is, it was designed to fit on one side of a 45. So, most of the songs were not more than 3 minutes long. So I can put a cabaret together sort of talking about my experiences with their music while performing all those songs. And there's enough time for that, which I'm excited about. But I wasn't able to fit 30 songs in one set. So that's why I just split up into two. So yeah, now that I've said all that, I'll look at some of your comments here because I can see it a little bit far away, but I can see it here. I'm trying to rest this thing on something so it won't slip. My phone case, I'm like at the process where I have to get a new phone. I'm in that like subscription plan thing, where you can trade it. I'm wondering if that's even something you should do, but I've been doing it for years. I think it's worth it. I'm not really sure, but it's like I'm long overdue for a new phone, and my case was falling apart, and now it's completely disintegrated. So I'm doing the thing where I use my iPhone with no case, which is a little bit freaky, but so I'm just trying to sit in a safe spot. Oh, awesome. Someone said they got tickets to both shows. That's awesome. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to hold this, actually. Get a little closer so I can see these better. Okay. Favorite Beatles song. That's too hard. It really is too hard. That's why when I put together a list, I had... I've got this list of 30 songs for both those sets, and I had an alternate list of 30 other Beatles songs that I was like, yeah, I could do these too, but I'm going to, hold off on that for now. From Liverpool, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You know what? So, yes, you live around from Paul McCartney's show. That is so crazy. I have not been to Liverpool yet. I cannot, oh man, I've got to go. Even I have to go to Liverpool. The Walrus was Paul, yes. Yes. What was I going to say? Something about Beatles. I don't know what. There was something, then I got distracted. But by the cool Liverpool comment. I was going to say that I don't know if it's if it works for your schedule because the shows are 7 p.m. and 9:30. So in order for you to watch them live, you have to be up quite late. But you could do it. It's possible. Yesterday, yeah, I've got some stories that I'm going to save for the show about some of these songs. Oh, thank you. So Hadestown, that's great. 160 times. Oh, wow. Oh, you listened to it, yeah. You're going to be in New York a couple of days after that. Okay, in September. I'll be playing in New York in September too, but it won't be the Beatles stuff. But you can come see me then if you want. Um, by what do I think about the biopic? Which ones are you talking about? I haven't seen any new ones, but those are always really hard to do, biopics. Oh, my favorite Beatles member. That's impossible to pick. Man, I mean, Ringo's one of my favorite drummers of all time. So, like, even though he wrote, the smallest amount of music for the Beatles, I mean, his contribution to the world of music is just can't really fully be measured, in my opinion. But I mean, I cannot pick a favorite member. I really can't. Yeah, I do have a dog. Can you hear our dog? Ever considered? I've played in Cleveland a lot. Now, my question for you, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Because it's been a number of years. I think the last time I played in Cleveland was 2017, maybe even 16. But I toured there a lot. I played the House of Blues. My first gig ever in Cleveland was playing as the rhythm guitarist for Johnny Lang, one of my closest friends. We played at the House of Blues, Cleveland, which is a really, really cool House of Blues. And that was in like January of 2005. It was our fourth show of the tour, so I love Cleveland. Actually, my Echoplex, I used to travel with an Echoplex all the time, and it kind of set on fire in the House of Blues Foundation room in Cleveland about 4 or 5 years after that. My favorite Queens, I don't have really. There are too many. I mean, all the songs I pick for these sets are like. It's hard to pick a favorite. I mean, I pick my favorites, I guess, but favorites to perform at least. But there's so many great ones. Is the show 21 and over? I don't think it is. I think that it's all ages. Yeah, Green Room 42. As far as I know, I've definitely even seen dogs at the Green Room 42. So I'm pretty sure. I've seen people as young as like 8 years old. You might need to be accompanied by a parent. I'm not sure, but I don't think. I think like if you're a teenager, you can just go. I'm pretty sure. But check with the venue. Hey, Mexico. Hey, from Mexico and Italy. Yeah, and Brazil. Oh my gosh, cool. If you guys are interested, we're on the similar time zone. Some of us, not Italy, but you might be able to do a live stream ticket if you want to. And again, it's on Monday, May 13th. Didn't know the movie. Oh wait, Oh yeah. Yesterday. Wasn't it called Yesterday? The movie where the Beatles didn't exist. Is that the one? Am I thinking of the right title? I love that movie. I don't. Yeah, for current repeats, honestly, I'm spending time writing and learning so much music that I don't necessarily listen to. I don't sit around listening to as much music as maybe I'd like. But that's just because I'm constantly playing it or learning it and stuff like that. Whoa. You do a magical mystery tour. Is that in where is that? In Liverpool, or where is that? Washington, D.C. Hey. Yeah, I'd like to get down to D.C. soon, too, but it's been a while. Yeah, Liverpool, that would be so great. Let's see. How do you prepare 30 songs? It's a lot of work. I mean, but the good thing about the Beatles music is I've grown up with it so much. In fact, most of these songs I haven't played before, but they're, when I think about it, I thankfully know most of the lyrics already, which is sort of unusual for me. I'm usually I learn the parts, like I'm someone who will like learn a bass line before I'll learn the lyrics. Like as a kid, that's kind of always how I was, but they're so clear. I mean, in the pop music world, their diction was so great. It's like it's almost like musical theater style diction, which is fantastic. I mean, like you don't always have that with popular music, so you can always understand what they're saying. Oh man, yeah. No one asked. That's yeah, George and Ringo. I mean, yeah, George and Ringo. I wouldn't. I really can't pick like John, Paul, George, Ringo. They're all like insane. And it's, my gosh, and all their solo work too. Oh yeah, Neil Peart's great too. I bet he's a Ringo fan. I'm gonna try to keep the set list a surprise because I see people asking if I'm doing certain songs. But yeah, but I will. Well, I won't say that, but because it's really hard actually, even to pick a favorite album of theirs. I love the Beach Boys. I haven't. I've thought about actually doing a show of their music, but I might do it eventually. Maybe I will. I mean, I love Pet Sounds is one of my biggest influences musically speaking, and into what became Smile. What was it called before? Smiley Smile, or Smile. It had a funny title. It was in a strange time for the Beach Boys, but it included Good Vibrations and a bunch of other amazing songs. Tour to Australia and New Zealand. I would love to do that. I mean, it's quite. Yeah, it's kind of about finding the right gigs and the right venues there, because it's because of the distance, the travel distance, and the equipment that I have to bring with me. It's about finding the right venue, which if you know any seated cabaret spaces over there, I'd be very interested. Last time I played Australia was with our band Carney in 2010. We played 2009 and 2010 at the Byron Bay Blues and Roots Music Festival, and we played in Sydney and Melbourne. Been a long time though. Oh, how does playing the same show, Hadestown, for so long stay interesting for you? Well, I feel like it would be very hard at times. It's not my first long-running show. I for all the things people say about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, which I think is so strange, that show ran for over 3 years. I was in the show for over 3 years, and it ran quite a long time. So I had an alternate named Matthew James Thomas in that show, who's done so much other incredible work as well. He went on to originate the role of Pippin in the revival on Broadway, and I stayed on longer in Spider-Man. But because I had an alternate in that show, I only did 6 shows a week in Spider-Man. But even with that, I did about 840 shows, I think, myself, over there. So in Hadestown, I did just over 1,200. But for me, it's interesting because I love the work. Like I am not someone who gets bored too easily with that sort of thing, because there's always, maybe not always, but sort of always, definitely for a long time, there's a lot to be learned through a character. And when you're opening up a new show, when you're previewing, I mean, previews and the first, like especially Tony's season, what's about to happen now here in New York and Broadway, that is the hardest part of a show. Aside from that, I'd say the first 10 weeks are the hardest, because you're just figuring out what the heck the show is. And usually, in my experience, I mean, Spider-Man was really quite unique in that we had 183 previews. That record I would say it's unlikely for that record to be broken. I sort of hope. I mean, for the sake of people opening new shows, because the preview period is a challenging time, and for us, we had 9 months of that in Spider-Man, which was exciting because we were doing a different show every night. But my point is that in previews, you don't end up having it's hard to really settle into your performance that you intend to give until you're through previews, honestly, because the script is changing. Even in Hadestown, all of my Orpheus stuff was changing up until at least what I was trying to say. The longest amount of time I had with a frozen show was probably 3 days before we opened. I think it was even less though. So they're giving you new, like, pretty significant changes to the book and the songs up until 3 days before you open, which is kind of crazy because the reviewers are in before, like, during that time. So it's pretty wild. But I guess that's my point, is that once you open, that's when I feel like I really start to go, all right, what am I doing here? I would love to have that happen sooner. I try to make it happen as soon as possible, but it is a little challenging when you have material changing that close to the show, opening. But it keeps things interesting. So, and then oftentimes you have different changes that happen throughout the run that, keep you on your toes. So I'm trying to catch up to these comments now. Zane with Johnny, wow, when was that? That was so great. Man, I miss playing with Johnny too. Am I playing shows in New York in June? Yeah, I do have one show in New York in June too. It's not the Beatles show though. It will be my original music. So if you would like to hear that, I'd love. I just played that last night at a place called Chelsea Table and Stage here in the city, or 2 nights ago. But yeah, please come to that too. But yeah. But first up is the Beatles show. Oh, 64. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Ohio. I will come to Ohio. Let me know. Is there a venue that's like I say? I always like. I prefer playing these seated cabaret venues for a number of reasons. But I mean, I think it's nice when I go to a show. I do, especially if it's like a 90-minute show. I don't necessarily want to stand in a cramped space with a bunch of people for 90 minutes. I don't know how you guys feel, but I love the fact that people can sit down, order a drinks, food, and enjoy the show. And I find that like the audiences are sort of more listening crowds that way, which is really nice. So if you know anything in Ohio like that, I'd be interested for sure. What am I acting in next? I don't know yet. Oh, well, actually, that's not true. I'm doing something. I'm doing a reading of The Tempest with some really, really incredible actors. Actually, next week on Monday here in Manhattan, in New York City, with Patrick Page, and I just found out Lillias White. So that's really cool. And a bunch of other amazing actors I'm huge fans of. So we're doing The Tempest, and I'm playing Ariel in The Tempest this time, which is kind of crazy because I played Ferdinand in Julie Taymor's version. Hoping for a cover song album. I'd be into that. Yeah, I'm trying to find the time to do some of that. Yeah. Are the set lists for the shows different thematically? Now, if you could CZYY7, if you could explain what you mean. Are you talking about the Beatles shows or all of my shows? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. But yeah, the Beatles. I all my shows. I do a lot of improvisation. So even if I'm doing a similar set, I would say it hopefully feels pretty different every time. That's my goal. But this I've never done this Beatles thing, and it's 2 sets in a row the same night, so that they will be totally different, but they're both Beatles themed on Monday, May 13th. The Green Room 42 is on 42nd Street and 10th Avenue in New York City, in Manhattan. Oh yeah, I am moving my fingers through the comments, but I'm just catching up because there were a lot of. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Someone said you had a really solid take on Peter Parker, but thank you so much, you guys. I love Spider-Man, so I really appreciate that. I love all the people who played Spider-Man. But most of my inspiration came from the comic books, which I'm sure is the same for all of them. Yeah, Yesterday is a great movie. Hi from Ireland. Hey, that's where my family's from. Nice. How you doing? Ringo and Alice in Wonderland? What is that? I don't even know what that... Oh, maybe I didn't realize that. Hey, London. Hey, London. Oh, Denmark Street. Man, what a freaking great street. We used to have something like that in New York City, but it's all changed. When I was growing up here in the 80s and 90s in Manhattan, we had our own music row on 48th Street, which is crazy because it's right down the street from Hadestown. So there was it's kind of cool that I ended up doing a show on that street. Would I do a show singing Jeff Buckley songs? I'm not opposed to it, but the thing is, people ask me on here a lot about that film. I actually don't have an answer for that fully, because it's not exactly fully in my control. They've been trying to make that film for years, and I've had the part for, it's crazy. I mean, it's going on 13 years now, which is wild. But for good reason, they've been holding off because they want to have it. They want to do it. They only get to do it once. They want to do it right. But for that reason, I don't necessarily want to show anyone what I don't want to confuse anyone, because the way I would do a Jeff Buckley song right now is not necessarily the way I would do it in the film, if that makes any sense, because I'm not necessarily in character, I'm doing a concert. So that's one reason I don't really do his songs live, although they're amazing songs. Oh, my birthday was great. Thanks so much. Yeah, I don't know how many photos I have though. Yeah. Let me see. Traveling constantly. I mean, 8 shows a week is really difficult, but I love being in one place. But I also love traveling. So, um, yeah, yeah. I try to plan things. I like being in control of the way I schedule things. It can be difficult. I think certain artists get overwhelmed. I remember seeing I remember seeing Taylor Swift say something who I got to work with a long time ago, but I saw this interview about, I think it was Taylor Swift, maybe it wasn't Taylor Swift, so maybe forget I even said that, but I thought it was about how she didn't have time for certain things, and I was like, that's such a frustrating situation to be in, where for whatever reason, feel like you can't say no about things. I find that it's important to know when to say. When you have a big team, basically what I'm saying is, like, I remember, what was her company? It was called Big Machine, actually, I think, the record company. But when you have like a big machine, like a big label and all this stuff, there are a lot of people that are relying on you to do something, and that can be kind of a frustrating position to be in, I think. You kind of have to know, I think, what works for you. Yeah, for me, I try to not let my schedule get sort of controlled by other people too much. I try to just, yeah, you gotta enjoy every aspect. Keep a good balance, I guess is what I'm saying. So hopefully that's, I feel for people who don't feel like they can do that, because I think it's important. And ultimately, you gotta just make the choice that's right for you. I asked for a good cover. Oh, cool. Pearl Jam's new. I haven't heard that yet. That's awesome. Good cabaret style place in Orlando. Oh, Renaissance Theater. That's cool. Yeah, that would be cool. It's been a long time since I played in Orlando. Oh, am I doing another solo album? Yeah, I'm kind of like, so I'm a huge, I don't know if any of you guys know this, I don't know if I've ever even said this on here, but I'm a huge Fiona Apple fan. And I remember I've worked with some people who work with her. One of my really, really dear friends that I don't see too often, a guy named Mike Elizondo. We actually went to the same high school at different times, but he produced one of her records, and she tends to release things a bit slowly, and he said that's sort of by design, in the sense that, like, she's just wanting to put out the best work she can, and she's not really on a timeline. I sort of feel similarly. I'm not trying to rush to just get stuff out. It's, if I feel like I have something to say and I want to do it, then I have things I'm working on, definitely, but I haven't felt like that. My album Youth Is Wasted, I felt like I really needed to get that out. I was like, that had, and when I released that, it felt like a great, just a great, I felt a great sense of accomplishment with that, because I played everything on it and mixed it and mastered it and all that, and it was just nice to have that kind of control, but it takes a long time to do it that way. New movies, who knows? I mean, there are, thank you for asking. With the strike ended, oddly enough, the same week I left Hadestown, which was pretty cool, the SAG strike. So I started, I get these little things coming. Nothing has like really popped out to, felt like it was like, oh man, I really, we'll see. Oh, you never been to New York? You got to come to New York, yeah. Oh yeah, the band Carney is so great. I mean, it's everyone is doing different things now, and we live in different cities, but so just finding the way to like play a gig together without spending an insane amount of money doing it would be a little hard, because it would kind of, I guess, you want to make it so it's not just for fun, or I mean, even that would be okay. But if you're like, hey, I spent blah 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 just to do a gig, so you got to figure, it's tough to work that all out with everyone living in different spots, but figure something out. Steven Sanchez would benefit from one of my oh, you mean my pedals? His Gibson, that's cool, thanks. Piano tutorial from Mad World. That's a pretty complicated one, but if you could probably figure it out by ear though, if you take a little time. Favorite Beatles song to perform? I don't have a favorite, but I have a lot of favorites. So I'm doing again, if you're just joining, I'm playing 30 Beatles songs, 30 of my favorite Beatles songs, in 2 separate sets, 2 totally different shows, 2 15-song sets, on Monday, May 13th at the Green Room 42 in New York City. And you can get live stream tickets, and it's all through the link in my bio. I should have said that. You can get those, and so if you live in another part of the country, you can get those and watch it live from your home with a glass of water or wine or whatever the heck you drink. How do you memorize all the music? I don't know. You just got to keep going, keep practicing. I mean, I would say cramming is not a good way to go. You got to like start early and let it sit in your system, with the music and the lyrics. Keep playing it every day. That's the trick, I think, or a trick, the thing you got to do it. Yeah, I wish the Jeff Buckley biopic would work out. It's not. I didn't say it won't work out, but it so far they haven't done it. So we'll see. They still very well may. As far as I know, they are still working on figuring out how to make it happen. So we'll see. Oh yeah, which songs am I singing? I'm not going to give the set list because I want people to be surprised. I think it'd be fun for them to be surprised. But yeah, Oh Darling's an amazing song too. Yep. All of their songs, man, it's hard to pick. Oh, Sandy, how you doing? Did you see you on here? Oh, am I afraid of being compared against the original version of the Beatles songs? Heck no. They're like, I mean, they're, you can't even, yeah, it wouldn't be about trying to me this is just about me honoring the people who have inspired me. And so Queen, the Beatles, it's I don't think of it that way. I think of it as like, what can I do with these songs? Like, and so for me, my approach is going to be different than the Beatles. And I have I didn't write these songs. But I think, yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone to compare like, oh, well, I mean, people can do whatever they want, but yeah, they're just such great songs. It's hard not to want to do them. I do like the new Beatles song. I think it's so cool they could do that. I'd even considered playing it, but it's not one of the ones that I don't know that will make it into my sets for this one. Oh yeah, New York. Someone asked me this before. Am I playing a show in New York City in June? I do have a show planned for June in New York City, but it's going to be me with all my original music. So if please come to that too. But the first show up next in New York is Monday, May 13th at the Green Room 42. Am I planning on being in a TV and movie? Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Like, we're not really in control of that as actors as much as people may think. I'm not sure what people think, but unless you're someone like Seth Rogen or someone like that, like where you're writing and producing all your own stuff, you're sort of at the like I don't necessarily have that interest, at least at this stage, but people will you're waiting, not waiting, I'm not waiting, but like people send you audition requests and you send in an audition, or they just say, hey, you're right for this, I'll cast you in this. But you gotta, those are the people who I don't go, hey, I want to be in a movie, let me go. I mean, I guess I could do that, but it'd be a different process. And also, a lot of the things that people send you, it might not be right for them, and they might not be right for you. It might not be something you want to do anyway. Eva is, she's running some errands right now. My diet? Oh, I think everyone's different, but I really try to listen to my body, and it's important because I always say to people when they ask about stamina, singing, and all this stuff, and doing 8 shows a week, I mean, sleep is crucial, but it's sometimes hard to get it. So particularly when you're getting less sleep than you would generally require, diet becomes even more important, and water is crucial. I mean, you don't want to like overdo it with water, but I mean, I don't even know. I have to say, like, I probably drink it. Yeah, when I'm doing 8 shows a week, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day at least, plus like a bunch of other liquids, I'd say. In Spider-Man, I think I drank even more than that, but yeah, it depends. You just gotta listen to your body. Oh, Detroit. I just played in Detroit. so I probably won't be there again soon, but maybe sooner than I think. But yeah, I just played in Detroit on April 6th. I had 2 shows there on April 6th at the Cabaret 313. Favorite song I performed? I can't. There's no way I could pick something like that. I did not play the Beatles Rock Band. No. Yeah, Good Vibrations is great. Do I communicate with Johnny? Yeah. Oh, you were at Johnny's concert. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't played in a few years, which is so. I really hope he gets doing that soon because I really miss seeing him play and performing with him. Any concert in Italy? Not yet. Definitely not opposed to it. I don't know where exactly I would play there, but I would love to. Am I planning on going back to Broadway? Sure. I mean, if there's a great show that I'm right for that I really like, yeah. Yeah, planning on being in TV. I mean, yeah. Again, if the right project comes along or whenever, it's Smiley Smile. That's right. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name of that. Thanks, Miles. Oh, Miles, how you doing? That's right. If oh yeah, BB. I've thought about doing a BB King show. Beach Boys? You said okay, BB. I've actually thought about doing a BB King show too, or just like a blues show because that's a lot of my background. Oh, someone wants a tip for Orpheus. I don't really know. I mean, the fact is like I've seen the show a few times since from different versions, and everyone's so different that I don't even know what I don't know what advice to give exactly. Did I ever play Mexico? I haven't played in Mexico in a long time, but I have played in Mexico. I think it's been since 2007 or 6 or something. The last time I played there. I don't know who Buddy William Spencer is, but hopefully that's a good. Bonner, we can't pick Bonner or The Edge. That's like picking one of the Beatles. Kato, what's up, man? Oh yeah, no, I love Matthew too. I haven't seen him in a few years now, unfortunately. We ran into each other in the street a couple years ago. Yeah. Another question: TV movies lineup? No, I mean nothing exactly lined up, but we'll see what's out there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! Have I followed everything? I just saw that Eva was nominated for a Drama Desk Award, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, as it should be. My gosh, I've seen her 3 times in that, and she just keeps slaying it and getting better and better every time. I can't wait to see it this week at opening night. With Spider-Man, yeah, I'd say like Spider-Man was my first big leading role in anything. I started acting. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I started like officially acting when I was I guess like professionally when I was 8 years old, but like as what they call a background performer. I don't know if you know what that is. They used to call them extras. Used to call us extras back then. But yeah, I was in a few Matt Dillon films in the early 90s, and I got my SAG card that way. So I've been a member of SAG since 1992. But I joined Equity in 2010 because I got the role in Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. And I'd done a film called Snow Falling on Cedars when I was 14. And that was a sort of supporting role. But yeah, I guess Spider-Man was my biggest, that's for sure. I think my big break in that world. I mean, the Tempest with Julie Taymor was first, but I think Spider-Man was an even bigger thing for me, opening more doors, I would say. Yeah, 1200 is crazy. I enjoyed it though. I mean, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Let's see. Miss singing. I don't necessarily miss singing Upside Down, but it was fun and it was really hard to do. So it was enjoyable. Oh no, Eva was nominated again yesterday for a Drama Desk Award. Yeah, someone was just asking. That's so freaking cool. She might have been nominated for something else today, and I didn't even see it. So let me know. How did I keep it so real? How did I keep what so real? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, Gatsby's not open yet. Actually, it did just come out, but it's not even officially open. It opens in it opens on Thursday night, but it's in previews. I love that question, Miles. Did we split the Carney stuff perfectly 4 ways? I mean, maybe people don't understand some of this the way some of these things were. To be honest with you, like there wasn't that much when you're working for a major label or working with a major label, and all this stuff and commissions you pay to everyone. There's not. It's not you're not necessarily bringing in a huge profit unless you get to a certain point. So. It wouldn't have made a huge difference, no matter how you, no matter how you do it, I guess. At that point, it's crazy to think. I mean, there are people out there playing like 500 seat venues all around the country, and I look and I go, yeah, it's crazy, but because the cost of traveling and all that stuff, hotel rooms, gas, renting a bus, renting a van, buying a van, salaries for people that are not in the band, all that stuff. Oh, whoa, athlete, that was cool, yeah. Oh, thanks, Penny Dreadful, I love that, yeah. Um, did I have a favorite Orpheus costume? Yeah, I mean, I was involved with all of well, not really maybe Edmonton as much, but with London and Broadway, I was very involved with the costume process, because they kept liking the things that I was wearing. So the denim was actually based on in London was based on a Guess jacket that my dear friend and stylist Philip Morrison got for me in LA, and they based it off of this, like they liked that and they're like, let's make something kind of like that, and then Broadway was based off a version of like an outfit that I kind of wear something like I mean, these are actually my suspenders, so you can recognize them from the show, but but yeah, so it's things I've been wearing for years, and they just like, yeah, we like that. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I will say the haircut wasn't my favorite. That's for sure. No, it wasn't about anyone's skill level. It's just about that style was not my favorite, and I had to wear that for a number of years, which was kind of would have liked to wear a wig, especially considering that people would say some people thought I was wearing a wig. I'm like, I might as well be wearing a wig on this thing, man. I can have my regular hair. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep the set list secret for this show. So again, if you're just joining, Monday, May 13th at the Green Room 42, I'll be playing a two-part event of Reeve Carney Sings the Beatles, and I'm really excited for you guys to be there in person or on the live stream. Let's see. Difference between previews and opening night? I mean, well, once you open, you can kind of really just sit into the show and really just figure out, like, yeah, you get your reps in, I guess, as they say. Whereas, like, in previews, you're almost doing a different show every night in some form. So it's a little hard to kind of, like, lock in. Depending on how many changes there are. And in the shows I've been in, there have been a lot of changes for my characters up until opening. Yep. Podcast. Podcast, very special episodes, did an amazing episode on Turns of Dog. That's cool. Was it being a revolving stage? Hades on fun. I mean, it's fine. I just think it shows it was useful for the storytelling. So that's the thing that mainly matters most to me. Come to France for a concert? I will. Yeah, I'd love to. I don't have a plan right now, but I'd love to. Thanks. You love Up Above the Weather. Thanks so much. I played that a couple nights ago on my show. That's one of my songs. Any plans for a new album? No, I'm always working on stuff, but no, I don't have like a release date or anything. Or kind of, I don't have a whole lot recorded right now. But my brother and sister and I are working on a project together, and we're writing things for that too, so that'll be really exciting. Thanos Stevie Ray Vaughan. Oh yeah, hey, of course. I mean, yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan when I was 14 and became obsessed, and then he led me to so many of my other favorite guitarists of all time in some ways. Let's see. All right. Yeah, no news. I've been saying no news on the Jeff Buckley biopic yet, but yeah, I know they're working on trying to figure it out. So let's hope they figure. Yeah. Oh, my June solo show. Someone's asking about that. I think, but like my original music show, I believe I have to check. I don't know if it's actually like on. It's not definitely not on sale yet, and that the date could change. So I don't really want to say, but I think it's towards the end. I think it might be somewhere around June 23rd ish. But I gotta see. But again, Monday, May 13th at the Green Room 42, I'm performing two distinctly different sets of the Beatles music. I'm so excited, and so if you can come, please do that. Those of you who are in town, and again, live stream, you can do that out of town too. Am I writing new songs? Yep, I'm always working on some new stuff too. Yeah, been to Memphis, played there many times. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the High Tone Cafe. No, is it High Tone Cafe? I played there. Played a lot of places in Memphis though. I played Memphis Music in May, or is it Memphis in May? Music in May in Memphis. Played there many different times. I played Colorado a lot. Yeah, I played Denver. Englewood, I think, Boulder, Beaver Creek, Vale, Aspen. I played a lot of places in Colorado, but it's been a while. I think the last Colorado show I've had so far at this point was 2017, so it's been a while since But if you know any good cabaret spaces there, I'd be very interested in hearing. Dallas, you haven't been there in a while either. Where am I playing in June? I mainly play at the Green Room 42 and a club called Chelsea Table and Stage, but I think most of this year is going to be at the Green Room 42 on 42nd Street and 10th Avenue in Manhattan, New York City. Oh, walkthrough of my Pro Tools Logic sessions for the Youth Space. Yeah, that would be cool. I actually thought there's a show that I would love to be on that I don't know if they would ask me, but there's a really, really cool show called Pensado's Place that I used to watch all the time, and I still love it. But where they have mixers and engineers go on. It's mainly mixers and engineers and mastering engineers. So they haven't had a whole lot, and producers, but they haven't had a whole lot of like artists, producers. I don't think, but I would be totally into doing that. That'd be a cool place to do it too. Oh, cool! Coming to New York the first time in June. That's great. It's a great place to be. The Broadway cruise was so cool. If you get if you like cruises, I didn't think I liked cruises, but I loved that so much. I would love it was so great. London show, yeah, no, the London, that was a cool that's the type of place I like to play. I mean, I don't remember how the chairs were set up there, but the seated thing. I mean, there weren't tables, or were there drinks? I think maybe it's kind of nice when there are tables too, where it's actually like the film cabaret. It's kind of cool. Let's see here. Yeah, I try to play in New York once a month. So if you're here, and I usually, the shows are usually announced at least like a month before I play them, or at least 3 weeks. But sometimes more. So yeah, but so just keep an eye out. But I try to play in New York City once a month. Oh, awesome! You got tickets for part 1 and part 2. So awesome! I'm so excited. I mean, I'm glad they're totally different shows. So I'm really, really excited. Would I do any more Jeff Buckley covers? Maybe. I'm hoping that they might make that movie possibly. If that's part of why I don't do any covers, just because I don't want to, don't want to spoil the surprise. Montreal, yeah, it's been a long time since I played there. I think 2017 again on the last tour I did, but like the long tour. But I forget the name of the club. It had a French name. I don't remember. It was a like 150 seat club, really cool place. I played Ram's Head in Annapolis. Yep. Oh wait, maybe no. Wait, I haven't played the one in Annapolis. I played the Ram's Head in Baltimore, but I have played in Annapolis. It's been at least it's probably 15 years since I played in Annapolis. So I love that city. That's a good idea. I should check that out for the tables. Uh, oh, what do I think of Madonna playing? I mean, I think one of my favorite musicians of all time is a guy named Buddy Guy, who, if you don't know Buddy Guy, you got to check him out. Oh my gosh, he's like a living legend, and even I have seen him. We've made, I guess you could even call it like the pilgrimage to Chicago to see him at his club Legends, Buddy Guy's Legends. And so he's 86 years old. He's still playing, and so I think when you love it, if you can do it and you want to do it, then that's just what you do. I think it's awesome. Biggest influence on guitar playing, I don't really know. There's so much. I mean, all the people that I grew up listening to, even Zayn, us listening to each other. But yeah, all of our heroes. There's so many, and then performing with people, playing with Johnny, playing in school and live. It's just so many things influence that, and I just love playing and practicing guitar. It's just I love it. You saw many versus Spider-Man. Yep, there were so many. That's true. My next pedal idea. So yeah, for those of you who wonder what that even means, I have an electronic effects pedal company that I started during the pandemic called Quarantine Effects USA, and I build electronic effects pedals for musicians, but I started building them for myself, and then I started thinking, might as well start selling these, and so I've been doing that. But I have a lot of ideas. I have a few things that I haven't released yet that I'm still testing, but yeah, I've got some cool ideas. But one of my favorite ones I've made so far is the Operatic Overdrive, which is a tribute to it's my pedal designed to achieve as close as you possibly can to the sound of Brian May from Queen. So I use that at my Queen show, which is so cool and fun. Well, haven't seen you while in a series. Yeah, I mean, TV series are kind of strange. I find that if you think about it, it's not that common to see an actor in series after series after series, especially when it's not a sitcom. I find like these dramatic ones, they tend to find new people a lot. We haven't seen this person in a series, so let's get them. So yeah, you don't see it that maybe as often as you like, but who knows? Hadestown Teen Edition. I mean, yeah, I think they actually are. At least Orpheus and Eurydice are teenagers, so in my opinion, so I could see that being great. Let's see. What is this here? Go with. Oh, you're friends with Brian Carney? Awesome. Tell him I say hi. I think you're saying Brian. Thanks so much. I can't pick a favorite guitar player. Too many. Zayn's definitely one of my favorites, though. Let's see here. I will say about the Youth is Wasted. I recorded almost all of it in Logic Pro, but I essentially used it as a tape machine. Like I didn't. I would go through a bunch of tube and some transistor based, but primarily tube outboard gear, and just literally using the DAW, as they call it, the Digital Audio Workstation Logic Pro, as a tape machine. So there wasn't a whole lot of like trickery. I didn't tune anything. I don't like tuning stuff. I think it's like it takes the life out of the music to me. Unless you're trying to go for that sound, like that T-Pain thing. And actually, T-Pain's a great singer. I've recently found out, which is so cool, because I assumed he was doing that because he was, wasn't really singing, but he's a great singer, and that's just a cool effect. But yeah, I like the effect, but I don't like when people rely on tuning software to stay in tune. Because I think things sound better a little out of tune. Honestly, when you listen to the Beatles, it's not perfectly in tune. Thank goodness. Like that's where the life comes from, the human element, and things being slightly outside of the 12 notes that we use in Western music makes it much more interesting, because in certain Eastern music traditions there are, I think, up to 20, maybe it's only 24 notes. For some reason I thought it was 27. I'm not sure. It could even be more. You could keep dividing it, but there's some magic in those in between notes that gets lost when you use tuning software, in my opinion. So I didn't do anything like that. But for some of the tracks in Youth is Wasted, I would have had to bounce tracks for sure in the tape world, or use, link at least like 2 track Studer machines in order to do it fully on tape. What makes Jimmy Page unique? I mean, he just sounds like Jimmy Page. I don't know. You have to probably ask him, figure out. But oh, Denmark Street's changing? Dang it. For those of you who don't know, Denmark Street is a street in London that is like one of the only streets in the world that has that high of a density of guitar stores within like one city block. It's insane. It's so cool. New Orleans, I were just in New Orleans, but we didn't play concerts there, but I would love to. Actually, I would be curious to hear if you know of a good cabaret style venue in New Orleans, because I was looking it up. I didn't really find anything, because cabaret has multiple terms, and the things, when I looked up cabaret space, it had like a burlesque theater or something, and that's not really exactly what I'm looking for. Thanks. You love my music. Thank you. Yeah, I'm planning. I would like to do another album once I have a collection of songs that really feels like a great grouping of songs. Okay, sorry, I'm reading these comments trying to see. Yeah. Well, let's see. Trying to get through, see what I can answer quickly enough. In terms of someone's asking tips for falsetto longer periods. I mean, so with Hades Town and a lot of that. I mean, there is falsetto, which is used in that show, but there's also a lot of connected head voice, which is different from falsetto, and as well as mix and chest voice. But yeah, there's really a good, I guess, a balance of all of those things. Falsetto. I mean, yeah. Falsetto, technically, it comes across as having more breath to it, potentially, you could say, I guess. It's disconnected head voice, I guess is how you could describe it. But Hadestown, I use a mixture of those things, depending on, what kind of part of the story I want to tell at that point. But, you got, again, water, you got to drink, eat foods that feel right for your body. In Spider-Man, we worked with a nutritionist that really, really helped me figure some of those things out. But yeah, having a balanced, diet, I think, is important. And not, so you don't avoid stuff that you like, but balance it with some things that feel like they balance things out. Those are really important. In sleep, you can't neglect sleep. I mean, ideally, if you can sleep 8 hours a night, I think that's great. But that isn't always possible with certain schedules. Thank you guys. I've seen Gatsby 3 times, and I can't wait to see it again. I see it again. I'm seeing it again on opening night. I also have I use a portable cold steam nebulizer sometimes, and that's pretty cool too. So if you, yeah, that's a cool thing to check out for vocal health. It uses like 0.9% isotropic saline solution. You got to make sure you get the right one because there's certain types that are acceptable for inhalation and other ones are not. So be careful with that stuff. But yeah, if I'm really tired, I like using one of those too. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Detroit. Yeah, keep on the lookout for Detroit. I think there's a chance that I may be there before the end of the year, which would be cool. I love Nirvana. I mean, Nirvana was one of the biggest bands in the world when I started playing guitar, so definitely a big influence. I mean, they're still one of the biggest, but you know, they were playing live all the time. Actually, that's not even true. Now that I say it, they were still really big. But when I started playing guitar, I think it was probably about 8 months after Kurt Cobain passed away, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Oh, I can't. It's too hard to pick a favorite Zeppelin album, I think. Thanks so much. The Tom Ford thing, that's cool. Oh, thank you guys. That's nice of you. Petunia, what's going on? Okay. Well, I think I might get off here in a second because I gotta take care of Petunia. But I thank you guys for watching. And what was it? Oh, Molly Malone's residency shows were the best. Oh, so fun. I mean, yeah, that was so cool. We played that place. I think we sold out Molly Malone's for like 75 weeks in a row, like on Monday nights, which was so cool. If I remember correctly, or something like that. But yeah, it was so fun. Okay, Steve Ray Vaughan show, that would be cool too. Yeah. But okay, guys, thank you for being here. I am going to go take care of some things and get back to practicing, honestly, because for the show. But again, Monday, May 13th, Reeve Carney sings the Beatles live at the Green Room 42 here in New York City. You can get an in-person ticket, obviously, which would be awesome if you live in New York. 2 separate shows, totally different sets. Monday, May 13th, live at the Green Room 42. And you can also get live stream tickets, and they're all through the link in my bio. Thank you guys for watching. I'll try to do another live on here soon. All right. Have a great night.